Hello and welcome to the show.
Love it.
Boom.
I love it. I'm Kim McVicar.
I'm Handren Seavey. This is I Don't Want to Wait,
Yeah, I don't want to wait. This was an
the
interesting.
podcast about Dawson's Creek. Yes, it was an interesting episode. Not as frisky as I mean, it was frisky, but like,
For the
I don't know.
title. I don't
For the
know.
title, I thought it was going to be way worse.
I thought people were gonna bang.
Yeah.
Newsflash: no one bangs. Unless you, I don't know. Unless you think Dawson did, but isn't he a virgin?
Well, there's a lot of innuendo, a lot left up in the air.
Okay, so maybe people banged,
Yeah.
but you didn't see it. I will say I watched this episode in between flights today at like 4 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And so the guy next to me I had the audio on a headset, so he was just looking over at me watching teens make out, and I felt so weird. I was like, okay,
How old is this person?
my age, or so he probably knew what it was.
Probably knew what it was, and he's probably like, "They're watching Dawson's Creek."
4 a.m. Living my best life.
You should have fucking plugged the podcast. Be like, hey man, go listen to the podcast.
Totally should, but I don't like talking to people on planes. It's a big, not my jam. I need to be better.
Do you not talk to any passenger? Like, if you're sitting next to people, you don't talk to them ever?
Nope.
Yeah,
I
me either.
purposely wear a hat. This is what I wore. I tip it down and I lean over and I'm ready to sleep. And then every time I sleep, like immediately. And then every time I land, people are like, "How did you do that? How did you sleep the whole time? I wish I could sleep like that." I get that all the time. And then I just say, "It's the only time I get sleep." So
Yeah.
you learn.
Yeah, it is easy when it's just built into your work. Like you're expected to do it. It gets a lot easier.
Bring a pillow.
But who are we? Seinfeld talking about airlines. Yeah. So you start the timeline because I watched it like a few days ago and I forget exactly where it starts. You
So
watched it today.
it starts with Pacey and Dawson um pretending that they're gonna fall in love. Like it's a weird romantic.
Oh,
They
they're
want you to
reading
think
the
they're
script. Yeah.
gay, but they're memorized, which is weird.
Yeah.
They wouldn't
Yeah,
be.
I know, right?
And then they're
I mean, I could see Dawson being memorized, but why does Pacey need to memorize a script?
no, it's just so that we think that they're gay. Like it's clearly like an opening of like, are they gay? Oh no, it's a script. And it was
You
like,
thought that's what they were going for?
I
A
do,
nice
even though I think it
cheap
was
shot?
poorly executed. No one you could tell.
That's
They have
sad.
it.
I didn't pick up on that because I don't know. I guess I thought more of them, but
No, they had
to be
Dawson
like
lean
this
in to make
far
out.
in,
They had
yeah.
Dawson lean in to make out, and then he's like, "Oh, you didn't say this line." It's fully them trying to be like
Or just make a joke of it, like, ha, you thought
testing
that
the gay
we were
waters
gonna
because
make,
they know they're
yeah.
going to bring a gay character in
Oh, ooh,
for
good call. Because
audiences.
it's got to be soon. It's in the next couple episodes. He's getting ready to come out.
It's coming, and I started watching it with that thought process, like you have been, and it has changed
Waiting
the way.
for it.
Yeah, when he starts, he at one point he talks about his biggest fear is sex, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because you're not into it.
Not with the person you're with. No. So then it starts with Pacey and Dawson reading the script or being off book completely, and uh, Pacey's like it's too wordy, obviously, and then he also says, "Why don't they have sex?" And that is a common thread about
Oh
this
shit!
script.
Hang on. Yeah.
Oh, I'll talk. Well, he's got a puppy he's got to take care of. Yeah. So every character reads the script and wants to know why the two characters aren't trying to fuck. And also, everyone is very aware that it is Joey and Dawson just wrote an autobiography. Basically, is it called an autobiography with two people? Is that an autobiography?
No, I think it's called a fantasy. Is the way it read to me.
But he
How
wrote it
he,
like he doesn't get her, right? So how is that? That's a shitty fantasy.
but it's completely from his point of view.
That's true.
Of like what this how this fucking shit went down. I did find it interesting a little bit, the debate about like whether or not to have sex and like the reasonings they gave the characters and their different reasons for it. But I think ultimately it's like one of those things of like clean comedy where you go like it's like a choice to not do it or a choice to do it, but you're like, yeah, but if you're talking like the best movies, like it doesn't fucking matter. They'll put sex in it if it's required because it's like a masterpiece and that's what's in there.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So it's like to not have it is like you're making a judgment that will affect the story if the story calls for it.
I agree, but I also think they're teenagers, so they have to be thinking about that.
Constantly.
So
Yeah,
then,
it
of
is.
course,
It
a
is.
teen writing it would put it in.
Mm, absolutely.
But
No,
Dawson's
this
no
one
regular
does make you
person.
think of anything, if anything, that Dawson is the gay one because he is just so like scared of sex throughout this most of this episode.
And he has such big hands. He shouldn't be afraid. Such big hands.
He's worried he's going to hurt somebody.
Maybe. Awesome.
Hmm.
It did take a turn that I did not expect. So then it cuts to, I believe, Jen doing the audition for this piece.
Yeah, was she auditioning? Oh, she
No,
was
she's
reading the
handing
other
out the
sides.
flyers. She's telling
Yeah,
people
yeah,
to
yeah,
audition.
yeah.
So
She's the producer. She's taking Joey's spot, which Joey, there's just like constant, there's little chips on everybody's shoulders, just being chipped away.
ding ding bye. Yeah, Dawson's like, you're really good at this. Yeah, she's good at handing out pieces of paper.
I know, right? She hasn't really done. Has she location scouted? Like what has she done as a producer? Do you have any more money?
Yeah, what did she do? And he just said, do you think people are gonna come? And she's like, yeah.
Yeah,
Great.
and this is why it's easier for women in the workplace
Fuck you.
than men. Is little to nothing is expected of you, and you just fail your way up.
No, no, not true. It's the opposite. We have to do more just to get seen.
And
Um,
by do more, you mean you're used to doing nothing. So something is.
if you were
These
in
are
the same
jokes,
room as
people.
me right now, I would hate you guys. We're gonna put this podcast where we're in the same room pretty soon, and when we do, there will be physical violence.
Nice. Yeah. So
We'll have like a paper ball that we can throw at each other.
I know. Yeah, I know how to make it.
Yeah.
Wanting people to watch. I was just pulling up the episode because I wanted to see
So
something.
then the next thing is like they're kind of like looking for that leading male, and the two of them are deciding. Like Dawson says it should be this guy, and Jen says it should be this other guy, and they explain why. Everything is like explaining what they want. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Dawson wants to be seen as this Tom Hanks type character, which is why.
Yeah, it's all subtext to it,
And Jen's like, no, we want a bad boy.
which again, who wants to be Tom Hanks?
You don't want to be trapped on a beach?
I don't think there was a single movie except for the only Tom Hanks you ever wanted to be was when you were 10 years old. You wanted to be Tom
Big.
Hanks in Big.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fair.
that was it. Everything else, it's like he is a fine person to play that role, but he's not like the leading man that makes other men. He's non-threatening to other men,
Which is why Dawson likes him.
which is weird. He's like, I don't know. Would nowadays is Dawson? What is it? A simp? Is that the new word? That kids
Maybe.
love.
But it's the same reason why people like people who are bigger than them or not as pretty as them or any of that stuff. It's just because it makes you feel better about yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I like people who aren't as pretty as me, but that's everybody.
Ha 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 ha. I knew you were going to say something
I
like
know, right? That one was right there. That's a good
it's,
one to go to.
yeah, it's hard to find. Then
Have
it
you
got
noticed also that Jen and Dawson's hair is getting eerily close to the same cut?
no, but I love the idea of it.
It's getting real close.
I love it. I love
Look
it.
at this freeze frame, paused, and
Oh, yes.
yeah,
He just needs a little more on the bottom.
a little more on the bottom and just comb it a little different, and they would be there.
I love it. Yeah, then Pacey shows that he doesn't have HIV, which is like a crazy jump.
It is okay. This part,
Like in the locker, he walks up all like, I got something for you. And it's not flowers, it's an HIV test. Like, what?
yeah, his enthusiasm about it. Also, the going out of the way to do it and then come and show her when she didn't ask. It wasn't like you go
She
do
did
this.
ask for him to take a test because she said, you did it. And he said, yeah. She said, but you gave me a hard time when I talked about it. And he said, but I was
Oh, okay.
listening. So she
Oh,
did ask. We might not have seen it, but they lead it on to be that way.
Okay, then that's a little. I thought he was just like, you know what? I'm gonna do something nice for Andy today. I'm gonna go get tested for AIDS.
But he didn't get tested for anything else. He just said, I don't have AIDS. What about all the other ones? Like the ones he most likely has?
Yeah, this is true. I mean, he would hopefully a lot. Well, there would be symptoms. I don't know. He's probably has herpes, but also it's basically saying you think that fucking Miss Jacobs, the one person he fucked, has has AIDS too. That's what was funny. You think Miss
Not
Jacobs
HIV, like full blown.
has AIDS?
I think it was AIDS. Yeah. I don't know. It was either AIDS or HIV, but yeah. Crazy jump. That's
At
like
this
being
point,
like
I
COD
think,
is the worst. It's the same, like jumping so hard.
yeah, I know. Did your brother die of AIDS?
Yup.
Yeah. Uh, but at this point, with modern medicine and stuff, would you AIDS or herpes?
um, oh, I would assume it would be herpes in this time frame, but my
No,
brother,
I'm saying which would you would take this over that?
oh, if I had to have AIDS or herpes,
Yeah.
does herpes last forever, but it's bumpy?
Herpes lasts forever. They have medicine for it that helps keep it at bay. And as long as you don't drink, don't smoke.
I think I'll go
Um,
with AIDS. Keep me skinny.
I think there's some of 'em. I mean, look at fucking Magic Johnson. It does
Well,
not even
the
skinny.
cocktail thing was difficult, but now they
Yeah.
have it under control out here, I think.
No,
You
I'm
could
saying you
get
could be fat with AIDS if you wanted to now.
Yeah, now it's fine. But
Yeah.
Dawson's Creek time, it was still a death sentence.
No, this was like height of, I would say, AIDS awareness, that it would have been put into a TV show in this light of like doing something about it, maybe started in 92, 94.
Mhm.
Now this is like 98. So they're like, we're peak, like, remember to write in the thing about AIDS in the show.
Yeah, people are definitely like still thinking about it, but it's also like cool to talk about it. It's not like inappropriate.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And it's not like um the bad kids, or like, whispered about like he has AIDS.
But you know what? It should have been some other disease. Like she should have had him do a full workup.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope so. Any doctor that would just go, yes, sir, just AIDS.
That's the only one you're worried about? You're not worried about
Yeah.
the rest? Because usually there's a few that like
And
it's
it's
like
the same
going right to
premise.
crack. Like you probably
Yeah.
hit a few along the way. Some people
Yeah.
don't. Some people are really cool. But usually there's some stepping stones.
It's like, yeah, like testing positive for only heroin.
Yeah, it's like a
It's
really
like,
fun.
not even alcohol? No, not even a drink, just heroin.
Oh, it makes me love Planned Parenthood. I should just go there on Mondays for fun.
I've been once.
Oh, I love going there.
Yeah, just to go know how much better your life is going.
You just see a bunch of pregnant teens really sad. Their boyfriend's like, "We're gonna cut this, right?" Like they all look really young, or they're
Oof.
itching. It's just a bunch of people who are worried about themselves. And I used to just go for my lady checkup because I like to give them money over other places,
Mhm.
and it's enjoyable to go when you're fine.
And every time you've still been a lady?
Yeah, not yet.
Oh,
I'm
nice,
waiting.
nice,
One day we'll
nice.
find out.
I assume that's what you mean by lady
Yeah,
checkup.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's just,
100%.
yeah,
Just checking out, making sure that I haven't changed.
yeah. Because you all eventually become old Asian women, right?
Oh, I thought I became white
Or
straight.
old Asian men, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
No.
Uh, when you went to Planned Parenthood, though, or when you do go, maybe because you're Canadian, you don't have this. But you have to like.
I did it in America. I didn't do it in Canada. I don't think we have Planned Parenthood in Canada. Maybe we
No,
do,
but
but
I
I
didn't
never went.
know if you have Canadian insurance still, if that covers you for health insurance.
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know. How do you go to the like if you go to the doctor, who pays for it?
Not me. I living off all them. No, I'm no. I've
That
healthcare
must be a
now.
Canadian thing. Um, but when I went, I didn't have health insurance, and you have to fill out the thing, and they charge you based on how much you make if you don't
That's
have
true.
health
Yeah, yeah,
insurance.
yeah, yeah. That is true.
But they just say, "Tell us how much you make." They don't check it.
No,
They
you
just
can
say,
be like,
"Tell
I
us."
make $1.
Yeah, but depending on what you're getting checked for, it will mentally be like, If it's AIDS, you're like, I better make sure it is every cent. I report every, like, you don't want to lie when you're trying to find out whether or not you do or don't have an STD. But if it's chlamydia, you'll lie.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I would
Like
not want
some,
any STD. All STDs scare the crap out of me.
no, but you'll save $50
Oh, okay.
to like find it, like, oh, it's chlamydia. I found out I have chlamydia. I still save $50.
Great.
Opposed to like, I would have rather paid that extra $50 and not had AIDS. Not that it works that way, but you just feel like there's some karma to it. If
Oh,
I'm gonna
that's fair.
lie
I see what you're saying. It's a
when
karma
I'm
issue.
getting tested and I'm hoping for good results, like,
It's such a weird thing to have to go get tested for those things because those conversations are so weird.
yeah, that's why we're sitting. Married life is just fucking. If somebody gets something, well, there's a different place we have to go wait in line.
Yeah, well, 100%. There's two places you have to go: to the divorce court and Planned Parenthood.
Hmm.
Planned Parenthood. I don't know if they do it for dudes, but women they're always like, um, "Are you? Is your partner faithful?" And you're like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Are you sure?" And then you're like, "They better be." Like, I don't know what you want. As much as I know, yes. Um, but we should get back to Dawson's Creek.
Yeah, that was a good sidebar though.
So then
So
Joey's
Pacey's
drawing naked
negative
guys.
for HIV, which
Yep.
honestly I think could be a good thing to set up. A couple years down the road, Pacey does get AIDS. I think that
Ooh,
would have been a good turn to go.
from
Have Pacey
Dawson.
die of AIDS because they don't kill anybody.
The dad.
Wait, I'm well the dad, but I mean of the main four.
No,
Um,
they need them. They're making too much money.
except I might be wrong about that.
Well, they kill one at the end, don't they?
The very last episode, I think
Yeah,
Jen dies, doesn't she?
think so too.
Yeah.
Um,
So
oh,
they could make a reunion happen then. I feel like she
oh
was
yeah,
the
'cause
only
she's the only
one.
one that wouldn't come back. 100%.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
And then her, or she could come back, and they just
As a
CGI her.
ghost.
Oh, as her baby. Doesn't she have a baby? And then it's like she
Oh,
just
she
has to have
plays
a lot of
her
work done.
her own daughter.
Yeah, she just has to have a lot of work done.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure she does. And then Joey's drawing naked guys. Dawson comes over and is like, you drawing naked guys? You embarrassed?" And she's like, "Yeah, I broke 12 pencils."
Uh yeah, and I don't know that you would be working on this outside in like she's sitting at a picnic table working on figure drawing. Like usually you do figure drawing where the figure is.
Yeah, she's fixing the shading, I think, or whatever. Like she did it in class, and then she's going over it, just over
It's
and
a
over that
weird
dick.
it's a
She's just
weird
drawing
way
over and over that dick.
yeah. Mm.
Oh yes, this is the shape.
It is it was a device. It was used to set up so that then Jack would fucking spill shit on it
Hmm.
and he would end up having to surprise be the nude model for her.
Which is exactly what happened. Dawson plays it like Joey's still young Joey, and she's like, "I'm not little Joey anymore," and he's like, "I know," and it's like a creepy stare thing again, where he seems rapey. And then Jack comes over and is like, "Great shading, great compromise, great," and
Mm.
fills it, and then he's
He's
like,
like, I love that dick you're
"He
drawing.
does." He's like, "Great."
Oh, that the
Beautiful
way
neck.
you shaped and filed that
The
shaft
eyes are
and
great. Yeah.
head of that cock is fabulous. You want to go out on a date?
Yeah, 100%. And then he offers, because he spills crap on it, he offers to
Says, hey, I'll do it. I'll take my clothes off in front of you. I'm fairly confident I will not get a hard on.
and I was disappointed with how unfit he was. He wasn't fat, he was fine, but he wasn't shredded. And I feel like if
No,
you knew you were gonna, I don't know.
this wasn't the time of shredded though. This was the time
Dad
of
bod at 16?
not
It
dad
wasn't full
bod.
dad bod. It was just like gushy.
It was just like you wanted to be just figured, like just enough figured.
Yeah, it was like back when fructose corn syrup wasn't bad for you.
Yeah. And you're also coming out of, I think by this time, coming out of the heroin look, the heroin
Oh,
chic of the early to mid 90s.
well, let's bring that back because I like
Yeah, it's a tough one to get into, but once you're there,
it.
um,
And then it cuts to what's that chick? Why is she hanging with a girl Jen's old friend who's mean? They keep saying,
Abby.
Yeah, Abby and that other guy who's the rapey guy.
Yeah, they've become cohorts for some reason.
He's like,
They're like
act
the
with me, and she's like, no.
discarded like rebel, whatever.
Why did they bring them back?
Again, this episode, the next 2 or 3 episodes heavily involve her, at least Abby. And I don't know why they needed
There
him.
too. I think they use him as the actor.
They do, yeah. They end up casting him as the actor. Maybe that was just because they're like, if we're gonna have Dawson shoot this movie, it means whoever he has play the actor will be in several episodes.
Right.
So let's use this person that's already on the show rather than bring on a new actor into the show.
But they never brought back your hottie chick.
Yeah, well, she was older.
Because they brought back some cheerleaders and football players to audition. They did like a quick like montage of bad acting.
She was older,
I was
and then I
expecting her
think
to be good.
also she just blew up in like
She was too
98. She
good
maybe
for him.
just did what was that one where they could see death coming?
I don't know what you're talking about.
These kids like escape a plane crash, but then it turns Final Destination.
Oh, nice.
She was in that and she blew up and became like the hit girl. And I bet that was right about this time. That's why she never returned to the show.
Yeah. What'd you think of that montage of all the acting?
Very stereotypical. And it was I don't know, they go for these weird parts of like, this will be the funny part, and it's generally the least funny part. When
Yeah,
they try to be funny, it's not funny.
always. And then there's a moment also camera-wise that they do. I don't know if it's in this scene or before it, but when Dawson and Jen are together and he says, I don't, it's the sex thing when they keep saying like there should be sex in this, and he goes, I don't want to go with the usual shot, and then the actual camera does a weird shot where it closes up on Dawson and zooms out weird. And I was like, wait, they
Is
meted the
that the
fucking
shot?
convo about the shot? That's so weird. Super weird.
They love, whoever is doing this, love putting in like little double entendres or like, breaking the fourth wall kind of shit.
Yep. And then it cuts to what's her face getting her medication.
Yeah, Andy getting the crazy pills. Pacey's trying to find out what they are. For them wanting to have sex and stuff, we'll get it. We'll get to what the pills are, but for them wanting to have sex and stuff, I don't get it because Andy is probably the least appealing attractiveness. Not that she's not a fine looking person, but she dresses like a single 40-year-old like nursery school teacher.
And she nags a lot, and she's really whiny.
Yeah. I could get past all of that if she wasn't wearing what she wears most of the time.
A 16-year-old dressed hotter, I'd be in. But the 16-year-old isn't dressing sexy enough for Handren.
Look, she's a 25. Okay.
No, she's 16, and she has butterflies on her shirt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's weird.
And then they're hanging out in the condom. Well, he sees what's the drug? It's Xanax, right?
Yeah, which they do a bad job of describing.
Yeah, it's not.
Because he said is like Prozac. It's not like Prozac.
No, it's not that big a deal. I mean,
and yeah, if she's on Xanax, see, that's weird that they made a smaller deal about HIV and a bigger deal about this, because now this is like fucking commonplace. Like I feel like everybody who's 16 would be on Xanax.
well, look at where we're at. Isn't that flipped on what's more damaging now in America? It's all because of this Dawson's Creek episode.
You think so?
Yeah, less people have AIDS because they saw that it wasn't a big deal, and more people have
this
Xanax because they realized it was.
They felt shamed about it and like it was something they shouldn't have or talk about, and
Yep,
blew up in their face.
It's all Dawson's Creek's episode problem.
And
then they like hug around the condoms.
Yeah, I know.
What is that? What we should talk about condoms. We're buy condoms together as a team. I don't know. The first time you had sex, did you buy condoms with the girl you were going to have sex with, or did you go by yourself?
I've never bought condoms with somebody I was having sex with.
Right? Why would you go as a? I was like, nobody goes as a couple.
Yeah.
Hey, babe, are these your size? No, let's you just get it shamefully and throw some oranges or something weird randomly in there with it.
Yeah, or you just don't use them too. That's always an option.
I mean, now there's some checkout.
For any kids out there, I want you to know this.
No,
I want you
self-checkout
to know.
is
Yeah.
so much better.
That's, you mean pulling out?
Yep, that too.
Is that what you mean by self checkout?
Yeah. You don't have to go to the register at all. Also, just steal them.
Yeah, I think I did that. I did that for years before I ever had sex, just to have condoms.
What are you stealing?
I think I was like 10 years old, fucking stealing condoms. And I was like, I don't know why. I just kind of put them on my dick.
Oh, wait, you used to just wear them for fun?
I mean, not like out to parties. No, I think I definitely stole condoms and like tried them on and stuff.
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
I think every guy has done that.
I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna do a
Yeah.
poll.
And then
Are
that's
you
you do
wearing a
that at like
condom right now?
3.
Great.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I think that, I was probably 10 and that was probably the last time ever I wore a condom. So
You just started filling.
tried one on. I was like, not for me. No, but I have gone and bought them, but never with the person.
No, you don't put your arm around the person and are like, "Hey, let's
Yeah.
cuddle around the condom aisle." And then she's like, "Let's get him." And then she tells him her whole like sexual fantasy, and it's the shittiest fantasy of all time.
It's a 40-year-old kindergarten teacher's fantasy.
She should be with Dawson,
Yeah,
character wise.
and
Those two would make sense together.
the couple times they interact too, it does have a lot more chemistry, I feel like.
Yeah, it would make more sense. They're both prude as fuck.
Mm.
And then they would fuck aggressively.
Once they start doing it, just with no style either, just like.
Yeah, a lot of hitting from her on Dawson. She would slap him a lot.
So yeah, then what do? They discuss it, and he's like,
Then they buy it, and then she tells him her fantasy, and then
yeah,
I don't know if it's in this order, but then he like gets her fantasy.
yeah. That this is when it was a cut between, somehow that happened at the store, and then they go back, and Jen and Dawson are still at school, and they have the discussion about having it in there or not having it in there.
The timeline is amazing because
I know.
Joey is
Even
with
the
Jack for like a really long time. That scene is so long, Joey and Jack, and then they cut to like a middle really quickly of another scene, and it was like they did it because they were like, "Oh, we've been here too long. Quick, show them these two making out."
but not only that, like we talk about this all the time with like the school and stuff, like they'll have them in class sometimes, but like that whole time they're doing those auditions for the movie or whatever, like, okay, one, this is not a school movie he's
Nope.
doing.
Why
This
is he
is
allowed to do this? And all of the language is inappropriate.
at the auditorium. He's using that time from somebody else, I guess. And what time is this? Why are all these people here? Is this during the school day or is this after
I
school?
assumed it was after. I assumed after.
Yeah, you think so, but I don't know. This apparently.
And then Jen asked him if like she was like, did I matter? Because I'm not in this script. The script is clearly about Joey. He's like, it's not about Joey. Why does everyone think it's about Joey?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, because you named the character Joey.
And you just wrote what happened the last 3 weeks. Like we were all there.
Yeah, we all saw that. You literally talked about the
page 12. That was Tuesday. You just said what happened on Tuesday.
Yeah, you didn't actually write anything. You just remembered your journal.
This is a bit of a journal.
Yeah, so then they do that whole, he's like, no, you're sexy. I think you're good, pretty. And so that's setting up some later stuff.
And then we go to the nude drawing, and they reference it, and it's perfect. And then when they say it's the fucking Titanic thing is hilarious because he's like,
because he
this is
poses
like
that way like a girl.
Yeah.
He's
But if I was the dame, which I would totally would be.
I'm all about this. And they
Now, do you think he had a big dick? Do you think that was?
I just think Joey's never seen a dick, and he came out with a towel on.
Yeah, but then
and then he crossed his legs the whole time. It's not like she drew his dick because they show you the picture at the end.
I know, but when that whole like falls and then the towel falls and then they're both sitting there stunned.
But she's eyeline with that dick. That's also like,
yeah.
She's been picking something up, and so it's jarring it for any woman to look up and see a dick at eyeline.
Correct. It's it's like I've never seen my dick from base level.
It's a lot.
I've never, yeah, it's like being at the bottom of the Empire State Building. It's bigger that way. Uh, no, but I mean, because he just stands there and I was like, yeah, he's there, like a shot of him just like shaking his head, like, hey, there it is. And her kind of being like, she didn't like go like, oh shit, sorry, like, oh, that's a little dick. Let's just pick up and move on. She was like, whoa. So that's why I wondered if you thought it was supposed to be like an innuendo to Jack is packing.
I feel like it'd be a decent sized dick.
Yeah.
Um, but also, if she's never seen another dick, then how will she know if it's big or small?
True. Do you think Joey Potter has seen a dick?
I don't. That's what she even references that basically in this scene.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I
she's
guess.
never seen a dick. She's like, "Oh, that's a dick." I think that's more the thing. Like that's it in real life.
Oh, that's a dick.
Yeah, they're scary.
Yeah, and then they have the whole like, yeah, this is Titanic except reverse, and Jack's like, that's what I want.
And then
I
she's
want
like,
to
"I can't
fuck
do this. I can't
Leo.
do this. I can't do this." And then he's like, "Well, here's my dick." And then
Yeah.
he's like, "It's too late now. You've seen it. Let's go." Which is so rapey. Uh, Dawson's creepy.
Yeah, the whole, I don't know, that whole scene is weird. And also I feel like if you went to the art teacher and were like, so check this out. Here's that drawing. If somebody spilled shit all over it
Uh-huh.
and it fucked it all up, what should I do? They would be like, all right, we'll figure something out. Come in. I got another class with them. One, come in on that
Draw an
time and you can
apple
redo
or
it.
draw a Ken doll in
Draw it
light.
all. And instead you went in and you went, I fucking found my own nude model. I put this shit together. Like she's gonna hand in this picture
Different pose
and
and a different guy.
a different person. Who the fuck is this?
She didn't even try a different like she didn't make him sit like the same guy. She should have
And
at least.
underage too. Underage. Now is that illegal? Has she just created child pornography?
Can you sketch child pornography and get in trouble for it?
That's what the exact question I just asked.
But I don't know. I don't know.
If it's drawn from a live subject, I mean, it's definitely, if she was above 18, it is you know, it's a guilty plea right there.
I don't
You've,
know. If she's drawing it in crayon, I think she's fine. I think it matters what you
that's a
draw.
stipulation. If
Yeah.
it's finger paints, it's okay.
Yeah.
Um, but I do have to say it is nice. I wonder if they end up making him gay because they're supposed to be into each other, but the chemistry between the two of them is zero. And I wonder if they were planning on putting them together, and then after a couple episodes of watching them act together, they were like, "All right, this nobody's gonna believe this couple. We got to do something."
Also, a lot of this cast was really fucking each other, I'm guessing, because of their actual age and being trapped together.
Yeah, I wondered.
So I wonder if like Joey was just fucking somebody else and that's why that worked out. Or if, like it got weird. Or one of them tried to like actually hook up with her and she was like, no, 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 I don't want that.
You think in real life Jack tried to, and then they're like, she got pissed, and they're like, "Don't worry, we'll make it up to you. We'll make him gay."
I sure hope that that's the story. I like that. That's a good one. I enjoyed that.
um, yeah, and then Jen and Dawson. I don't get why they set this up again. I mean, it comes to fucking full fruition.
Yeah,
I believe it,
the
right?
rest of this episode is really just Joey and Jack being naked for literally 10 minutes.
Way
And then
too
it
long. Yeah.
and then it cuts like really quickly to Dawson outside and Jen having a coffee. And since they're neighbors, she's like, "Oh, I can see he's outside. I'll go outside, talk to him."
Mm.
And I was like, "Oh, they will inevitably always get together. If you're neighbors and you're like sexual tension, it's really a matter of like geography. It's like, oh, well, you're here, I'm here. We know what the deal is. Let's party."
Oh yeah, I think we've all had that person that was just easy and close,
Yeah, and fine.
and you were that to somebody else.
100%.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's who I marry.
Perhaps it's a
It's my husband.
the yeah. Eventually, that's who you marry.
Yeah.
Um.
That's all I am to him is just close by.
Uh. The good one is the few years. after high school, you go off to college or wherever, and the holiday one, the holiday fuck, the person.
I don't think I did that. But maybe
Oh yeah, well you had a weird fucking, you were
totally
an
did. Yeah, I'm
orphan
not the
at a
normal
young
person.
age.
I'm not. Nope.
Normal kids had friends, and when you would, go away to college and you come home for the holidays, you see all your old friends from the old town, and
You'd say
occasionally there'd
one
be
or
like
two.
somebody there. You're like, yeah, I hooked up with her, and then we just go off and have our own lives. And then you see them again in the next Thanksgiving.
And you're like, should we do this again?
Yeah, or they come back when they're like, I'm married, and you're like, so I guess we're not doing that again. Okay.
Yeah, moving on, moving on. And then he gets an erection, Joey, and this guy, oh, I can't remember their names.
Jack.
Yeah. Yeah. Jack stands up, the towel gets lost. They have like, oh no, they've already whatever.
That
They're
already happened. Yeah.
he's talking about how passionate he is about something and he gets an erection.
Yeah, which
Where
was
they
hilarious.
imply an erection. And he
Yeah.
also talks about how scared he is of sex in the same thing.
Yeah, and it went.
Yeah, so
He started to get an erection. He's like, hang on, I can take care of this. So the woman figure terrifies me.
Yeah, he gets an erection, she looks at it, and then it's super weird, and that's funny. That's the funniest part of this episode.
Yeah.
Erections are funny.
It would be so funny if that's how he like figured out he's gay. Is like he just has these hard
He was
ons
like
and
talking about art or something when he had his heart on, right? What was he talking about?
yeah, something. Yeah, it was something like that. I forget. Something gay. um if every time he had these hard-ons and she was like trying to blow him, and then like literally as his dick enters her mouth, it just softens as it goes in. Comes out, hardens right up again.
Oh, so it's my insides you don't like. Got it.
Yeah, it's literally me as a person.
Great, got it.
Turns out, yeah, that is exactly what it is.
Then it goes to Pacey doing all of the things, taking her out to dinner. He gets this Airbnb, which is so weird because that was what she wanted.
It's just called a B&B. Back in those days, there was no air. It was just bed and breakfast.
There you go. And it's a small town, so wouldn't they know that they were selling it to underage kids?
Wouldn't everybody know what's going on? Wouldn't his dad is the cop? Wouldn't they know who he is? They've called the cops before. Everybody would know here.
It'd be so weird. And then he gets it, and she's like, I don't know if I'm ready. Fuck, I shouldn't have told you my fantasy right away. Because she's
Another great story. Sorry. High school, I was house sitting for somebody in our town and had a girl over spend the night, and same thing. Their neighbors saw, knew my parents, told everybody fucking knew, told her mom. Everybody got in trouble.
Normal. That's what happened. And so it's weird that it doesn't happen in this town. But he does all the things, gets his B&B, bed and breakfast. And then she's like, I'm not ready. This is too new. And he's like, that's not why I did this. I did this.
It's exactly why he did this.
100%. 100%. But then they start to like, she's like, fine, I'll fuck you. This seems sexy. And then they start, and he's like, I can't believe it. I don't want to fuck you. That's so funny.
Which was
the best.
I don't know. I don't get how like he expects. I mean,
I think he realized he was like, I'm gonna fuck this crazy bitch up.
You think that's what it was? He was like, wait, what am I doing? What am I doing? Or was he like, I don't know, I've just never like fucked somebody that's not wrinkly before. I don't know what to do with this taut skin.
Maybe it could be both.
It is. I'm sure he might be feeling this in a way, and what might scare him is he was taught, and he now has to be the other role, and he's scared to do that.
Yeah. Also, he was abused basically, and so now he's like, am I doing it to somebody else? Predator.
This is true. The age difference a little less, we'll say, than his last relationship.
But then they don't have sex, and he walks her home, and that is so disappointing.
No, they get in the car. They get in his car.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
So, because basically there's a moment, this is when I was at the airport, and I had to hit pause and make it smaller on my screen because I was so uncomfortable with, it was like Joey and Jack were making out, then it cut to him and her making out, and then it cut to, it was like
Jen and Dawson.
And then Dawson jumps in her window, which she just wakes up and is like, Dawson? No fucking way. Because her window is not the window people jump in. The last time somebody jumped in, it was a rapey ex boyfriend. She
Hmm.
should be afraid.
Nope. I mean, she, with the ex boyfriend, she's clearly wants it. She leaves the window open, just waiting for any dude to jump in.
But she just like dead asleep. You wake up, a guy's in your room, and you're just like, cool.
And
You
also,
couldn't have
this
a
is New
moment of
England. Does nobody have fucking screens on their windows? Where are all the mosquitoes?
wait, they did you see that when earlier in Dawson is looking at her drawing, there's like so many bugs around him and there is none around Joey.
Oh, weird.
And it was
Well, it's
really
probably
fun to
also
watch.
just like, I mean, who knows if it was
It was a
even
smell
filmed on the
thing, I
same
bet.
day or something.
No, because they do a wide.
Oh, really? You could see it
He's
on the wide?
like I love that. Stinky man.
um, but yeah, no, Jen, this is what Jen has been hoping for the whole time.
Oh yeah, but still, and then Dawson literally, oh, my heart breaks. And when guys say things like, "Don't ask me why I want to do this," which is like, you know, I don't like you.
Yeah.
Guys say that shit all the time to girls. It's really, really mean. It's really fucked up. They think they're being honest and transparent, which technically they are. But like the girl, oh, it hurts my soul.
Mm. Oh yeah, I've never said that. Don't ask me what.
Don't ask me what my motives are.
But I have said like
Hey, I not really into you. This is just for tonight.
not looking for anything out of this.
Hmm.
I've had that said to me, and I was like, wonderful. And then turns out they were lying.
Because you're
They
so
were
pretty.
looking for something out
Because
of
you're
it.
so pretty.
Yeah, irresistible to white women.
See, I can say the same thing, but it's real. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But I will spoil just a little bit because it helps us make a judgment on how this one ends. Is I watched the very beginning of the next episode
I
because
didn't
it
watch
played,
anything.
and
I need to wait. We need to. Okay, so I'm literally looking at it. So it's Jen and Jack. They make out. Then it cuts to Dawson creeping in, saying, "Don't ask for my motives." And she just looks at him, and they start making out. And then it is Pacey, and they're making out. And then he says, "I don't want to fuck you." And then they walk. He holds her hand. I'm waiting for this car shot because I don't see the car shot.
right at he opens the door and they get in the car.
But isn't he just driving her home? Because he said, "I'll drive you home."
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant they got in the car and started fucking. And I was
Well,
like,
no,
wait, they didn't fuck in the Airbnb?
this
Oh,
is
it
what
says
I'm
to be
saying.
continued. Okay. You snuck.
That they did that on purpose to be continued, to let you know that this night has not ended, because they start off the very next episode with each of those two characters saying goodbye
Wait.
to each other,
Okay. I was going to guess.
and all of them implying they may have had sex.
But none of them.
However, you don't. That is not, if you look at the episode and the description, it is revealed somebody has had sex. One person has had sex.
Alone.
It's revealed in a note, and the next episode is them trying to figure out who had sex and who talked about it in the note or whatever. So
Oh.
I'm wondering to you, of those two, the three, I don't know either. I'm pretty sure I know who it isn't.
Pacey.
Who do you think did have sex? That's what I
I'm going
think.
to say Pacey.
Yeah,
And I'm going to say it because I know that Joey loses her virginity to Pacey. So it can't be Joey.
correct.
And doesn't Dawson stay a virgin for forever?
That's what I believe, but maybe
Don't remember.
fucking Jen and Pacey
I would
are
love it if it was.
racking up V cards.
I would love it if it's Dawson and Jen, and he has to then fucking tell Joey that he's not a virgin and that it's
Mm,
Jen because he's never going to get her back then.
not until she fucks somebody else.
Never, ever.
Yeah.
Like, nope, you're done.
No. Not until she's married, has 2 kids, catches him cheating, but stays with him, but then finds Dawson on Facebook and reaches out and they start talking. And after deciding to meet in Seattle for the weekend, they hook up again. That's how he'll get her back if that happens.
Yep, you always have to go to Seattle. It's a fact.
But yeah, I'm it's got to be Andy and Pacey.
and then he finds out he fucked a Xanax chick.
I know. So this is, if we know this in the series, he takes her virginity and he takes Joey's virginity, and he fucked the teacher. But right now he is 2 for 2 for crazies because he's the pedophile, a crazy person,
Mm-hmm.
and now he's fucking the schizo.
Mm-hmm. And then, but he's
Um,
always loved Joey. He's just always put her on the back burner because of Dawson.
yeah, well, Joey's not exactly a together person either. I'm saying Pacey's taste
Like he
in
likes
women is
damaged
very
women.
clear that
No.
he likes crazy people.
Oh yeah, he loves a good damaged chick.
Yeah, which is why it's more surprising he hasn't fucked Jen yet, too.
Don't they at some point start making out for fun?
Maybe they do.
I
That would
think
be
they
fun.
do. I think they do. I think Pacey literally makes out with every single cast member at some point.
Nice. Way to go, Pace. Way to go.
Even the chick who dies, but after she's dead.
At the funeral,
Yeah, in the casket.
I can't let her go without giving her a little, yeah, little, what is it, Pacey, a little Whittier tittier, huh? A little Whittier.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. We both think it's Pacey and Andy who fucked, but maybe it's Dawson and Jen.
Oh, I hope it's Dawson and Jen.
That would be great if those two lesbians came together and scissored.
Yeah, with the same hair
That's what they kind
color.
of look
They'd have
like
the
right
same
now.
morning hair. It'd be cute.
Yeah.
Also, don't sneak into girls' bedrooms and make out with them. Their breath isn't good, and it's
Unless you know they really want it.
Mm. All right, I'm
So
Kim
yeah,
McVicar.
just I would say in general, windows, try not to use those to enter and exit.
Yeah, use the door, everybody.
Yeah, unless it's an emergency. But we'll find out who fucked next week
I
on
don't
I
want to
Don't Want to
wait.
Wait.
I'm Kim McVicker.
I'm Handren Seavey. Bye bye.
Bye.